Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, my name is Valerie and I make videos about parenting, motivation and lifestyle videos and plenty more as well. So if you do like the sound of this, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and also make sure you tap on that notification bell to be notified every time I post a new video. So without further ado guys, let's dive into today's topic. So as I mentioned in my previous video, I'll leave the link above. I have been going through a lot of challenges. Last year was particularly really challenging. I'm going to talk to you about what I'm going through with my toddler who is 3. He's currently not talking, so I thought it would only be fair to basically kind of talk to you guys about what I've been going through in the light that it might help someone else as well who may be experiencing what I'm going through. And additionally as well, I feel like because I documented my son's life basically on YouTube here on my channel since he was a few months old actually, so I feel like it's only fair to kind of bring you an update because I want this channel to be frank, very honest, and I want to show you the good and the bad. Yeah, so this is one of the challenges I'm currently going through. Initially I was going to talk about it once I'd gone through it, and you know, but I think it's only fair to sometimes go through the journey with others so they can witness it and actually, you know, support possibly, or someone might kind of, you know, it might help someone else, you know. My son was a healthy baby, born with there was no complications. I had a normal natural birth. Everything was fine, and I would encourage you to kind of check the previous videos that I made on his development. So I will also link them below. So it was a normal, healthy baby. He hit all his milestones within, you know, the normal range and times. So I had absolutely no concerns, sorry. And yeah, so but I noticed around about when he was 18 months old, I noticed that he stopped saying mama, and you know, it was not communicating as much as he should be for that age. And I remember when I used to take him to play groups and I used to observe other children around his age, I noticed that there's certain things that he was not doing, but the things, I mean, when I said the things that I noticed he was not doing was the speech aspect. I noticed that his speech was not kind of improving, had not improved. So he was not saying mom or dad. He had stopped saying that actually. He was not expressing himself. He was not putting words together. So I thought, you know, as a mom, you know, he's my 3rd child, so I know every child, you know, develops differently and at a different rate. So I didn't really think too much about it. I thought, okay, you know, I'll give him time. So at 2 years old, he was not able to put 2 words together. However, from an early age, he was he's a very bright child. So he knew, at 1 year old, he knew his ABCs, he knew his numbers up to 10, you know, knew his shapes, he knew his colors. So he was very bright, but he was not able to kind of express himself, you know, if you know what I mean. He was not able to kind of pull sentences, like short sentences together. He was not able to do it. But if he saw a ball, he was able to say ball, but he was not able to say mom, ball, you know. Do you see what I mean? And flashbacks started coming back because my middle son at 2 years old, he had speech delay. So I felt like, oh, here we go again, you know. And you know, normally people say, oh, boys, they do take longer, you know, than girls. So when I went for his 2-year checkup, I told the health visitor my concerns. She assessed him as well, and she agreed with me. And to be fair, at that meeting, she actually said that she was extremely concerned, and those were her actual words. I'm extremely concerned. And I was like, oh my gosh, whoa, you know. So I was really worried. So she said she was going to make a referral to the speech and language therapy, and so that they can assess him further and to kind of you know, gain a better insight as to what was going on. But unfortunately, the health visitor, you know, basically did not submit the referral. The whole thing basically dragged. So I'm just going to cut a long story short. Basically, I think it took about 6 months, if not longer. And I had to basically chase up. I had to go to different, I had to go to his play group, where I was so lucky there was speech and language therapist there. I literally broke down and said, listen, you know, I have been waiting for an appointment for my son to be assessed. I'm concerned about his speech. He's not talking. I'm doing everything I can at home, and nothing seems to be working. I feel alone, and you know, I don't seem to have any help. Every time I check in with the health visitor, she says that, you know, it does take a while for the, you know, for the referral to be processed and for me to receive an appointment. But guys, only to find out that this health visitor did not even submit the referral form in the first place, you know. So cut long story short, we finally got seen, I believe around, was it June or July? Finally got assessed, and we finally, so for that, once we got assessed, then we started, we were assigned a therapist. So I was taking him for speech and language therapy I think it was every 2 weeks. And so there was exercises that, you know, we were given to do with him, and so on and so forth. So we've been working with a speech and language therapist since then. And so following that, we were sent to another center where they actually do a kind of an assessment, basically. When I took Zane there, the lady, I felt like the lady assessing him, the questions that she was actually using a lot of leading questions, and I felt like she wanted, you know, she was leading to him having autism or something. Like some of the questions, she was like, oh, does he line things up? And I'm like, no, he doesn't line things up. You know, does he, you know, repetitively do certain things? And, you know, so I said, no, you know. So I just felt like she was trying to kind of put this autism label on him, you know, through her questioning. So I left there feeling a bit peed off, if I'm honest. And she sent her assessment, her review, and then she basically said that she wanted him to be assessed further by an autism doctor. So we recently went actually in December for him to be assessed for autism, because they were still unsure whether it was autism or speech delay. So we went there and we were there for about 2 hours. So whilst I was with the doctor answering lots of questions about Zane, they had a speech and language therapist there who was basically playing with him and basically assessing him. And at the end of the assessment, the speech, basically the autism doctor said that she was not fully 100% sure. She had not actually arrived to a conclusion, and she wanted him to be assessed further at school in his nursery environment, because he goes to nursery full time. So she said she wanted to kind of assess him fully in his environment to see what he's actually like. And also because at the time he was only 2, he only turned 3 on the 15th of December. So she said that hopefully they're planning to kind of set up that appointment in the next couple of months. So within that time, hopefully that should give him time to kind of develop further. I'm currently waiting for them to set up an appointment with the nursery to assess Zane at his nursery. And basically following that, then they will actually give me their thoughts, basically. And it's something that I've just been stressing out about. The doctor did tell me that a lot of the things that we hear about autism is not necessarily true. Some of the symptoms that we hear about are not necessarily true. that sometimes some kids can present with autism but may not have the typical characteristics that some kids share or have. I'm not all about labels, to be, if I'm honest. I just want my son to be okay, you know, because as a parent you're just concerned. It's like, oh my gosh, because with my middle son, by the time he was 2.5, you know, he was speaking, and because we only had about maybe 5 or 6 speech and language sessions, so he was fine. And he's actually a bright child as well, so he flourished, you know, and he's fine till this day. He's almost 9. But it's just like, you know, when you just like, as a parent, your child is just, you know, as a parent you just think, okay, because there were times that I think, have I done something wrong? Is there something I ate? Is there something I didn't do? You know, you end up kind of like looking at things and thinking, okay, you know, what could I have done differently? Why is he not talking? And he's a very happy, laid-back child. I'll see if I can insert some clips in this video. He's very happy, very laid-back, but it just breaks my heart that he's not able to express himself. So he does really get frustrated, and you know, sometimes he would just, you know, lash out, you know, and it's so frustrating and it's heartbreaking for me because he cannot express himself, you know, like any other children. And if you see him, you know, he's a very happy child, very loving, very affectionate, and he's 3 years old, but it looks like he's 4. So it's like when I see other children his age and I think, wow, you know, and he's not expressing himself the way they are, and it just makes me, and I know I shouldn't compare, but as a mom, you just want your child to be able to express their needs to you, you know, because when I'm with him, I know what he wants or what his needs are, you know, I can anticipate, I know it, because it's like part of me, you know. But if he's with other people, they might not know. I mean, thank God that the nursery he goes to, they're amazing, they love him the way I love him. They're very in tune with his needs, you know, because he communicates non-verbally, you know. I just hope that his speech comes on fully. I mean, currently, let me give you a bit, I know I'm all over the place with this video, guys. So currently, Zayn, you know, he can point to things, he can count up to 30, he knows his shapes, colors. He's an extremely smart child, you know, and he listens to instructions, whereas before he didn't listen to instruction, and I was worried that he was deaf. He's healthy, he's growing really well, he's doing really well, and he's come a long way. I feel like he has improved immensely. So at the moment, so he does give good eye contact, but it's not all the time. What else? I've recently noticed that he likes to line up things, but he wasn't doing that before. But my other son was doing that before, so it doesn't really mean anything. What else? One of our concerns was his social skills, and because he wasn't really interacting with other children, and that's one of the feedback we got from nursery as well. But at home is really different. At home he plays with his siblings. He's always forever pulling me, trying to get me to play with him when I'm busy trying to cook. So he plays really well with his siblings, you know, he's very loving, it's, you know, yeah, so he's, you know, so his social skills is improving. I wouldn't say he's one of those children that actually will go out and, you know, initiate things most of the time, but I feel like maybe because of his speech, that's what's perhaps holding him back. So guys, yeah, so this is where I'm at right now. I didn't realize how prevalent this speech delay is, because the more and more people I speak to, the more stories I hear of people having experienced that with their children. You know, I've been told not to worry, he'll be fine, you know, that every child is different, every child develops differently, and sometimes some children just need time. So I pray that's the case. I'll keep you guys posted on how we get on. Please comment below if you've been through something similar, if you've got any advice. Yeah, I'd love to hear it, guys. So thank you so much, guys, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.